You can't pinch it like subcutaneous fat, but it is the most dangerous type of fat in your body. If you noticed your waistline expanding, even if your arms and legs stay the same size, you are likely dealing with visceral fat. As a nurse, I'm telling you, wanting to lose visceral fat, belly fat, isn't about how you look in your clothes. It's about your health, your heart, your liver, your longevity. If you just want to know why visceral fat happens and what you must do to get rid of it once and for all, you're in the right place. What is visceral fat? Most of us are familiar with subcutaneous fat. That's the stuff right under the skin. That stuff you can pinch. It's annoying, but it's relatively harmless. Visceral fat, on the other hand, is different. It's buried deep inside your abdominal cavity, wrapped around your liver, your pancreas, your intestines. This is why it's so dangerous. It's actually often called the active fat because it doesn't just sit there like the subcutaneous fat. It actually pushes out inflammatory chemicals and hormones that interfere with your health. But why does this fat suddenly appear after menopause, after 40 or 50 in women? It usually comes down to these three things that affect your metabolic health. First thing, our estrogen drops with menopause. When you hit menopause, your body's ability to manage fat shifts. Everything changes. Yes. Without estrogen, our bodies naturally want to store fat in the midsection. Not in the hips or the arms, the midsection, around the vital organs. Second, the cortisol trap. If you're stressed, your body produces more cortisol. That's a fact, non-negotiable. Cortisol is like a magnet for visceral fat. It tells your body, we're in danger, and when your body feels danger, it starts to store energy in the form of fat. And that fat is stored around your midsection, and we like to call it belly fat. And third is insulin resistance. Now, this is a big one because if you spent years eating the low-fat diets, but you eat high sugar, your body stops listening to your natural insulin. And that extra energy gets packed away as fat around your vital organs. That extra sugar, that extra carbohydrate. Okay, so now that we have that understanding, what should we do? First, manage the spikes. What we have to do is lower our insulin. To do this, we don't need to starve ourselves. This is not about starving. You need to change the way you eat your food, not starving. That means start with fibers and protein. Make them important, more important than carbohydrates. Before you touch a carbohydrate, make sure you have a protein and or fiber along with it. And here's a nurse tip. We know that blood sugar stability stops fat storage from ever turning on. Understand also that there's a connection between your sleep and how you store fat. You can't just hustle your way and get rid of visceral fat. You can't just train, work, exhaust yourself and never sleep and think the visceral fat is going to fade. It won't. If you're getting less than 7 hours of sleep, maybe 6, your cortisol levels will stay high all day. You won't be able to sleep at night. Now, although your cortisol is naturally high in the morning to wake you up, it's necessary, assuming you had a good night's sleep. It should not be so high that it causes you to crave carbohydrates all day and not be able to sleep when you need to sleep at night. It's that simple. Don't listen to any other naysayers. You can have the perfect diet, but if you're not sleeping, your body will refuse to let go of the visceral or belly fat because it still feels it's under threat and it needs to store that. And the last thing is move smartly. That means walking. We already know that starving and straining doesn't work. Try to target the visceral fat with walking is your best friend. Taking a brisk walk for 30 minutes a day lowers your cholesterol when you need it to be lowered. 20 minutes if that's all you can do. Combine that with a few days of lifting weights and understand that body weight counts as lifting weights. So push-ups and squats count. Keeps your muscle mass high. And you are creating a metabolism that burns fat while you're resting. Remember, exercise is not about perfection. It's not about perfection. You can benefit from doing push-ups on your knees. So stop listening to people who want to tell you that you are doing it wrong. Watch out for the naysayers who secretly want you to fail. As long as you're doing something, that's the most important thing. And yes, it's true. Visceral fat can be stubborn, but it is also the most metabolically active. Metabolically active means it actually is the easiest to lose once you get your hormones in balance with diet, exercise, and sleep. If you want to know some of the vitamins that I use to support my health, I have a video, Vitamins You Need, which you can find attached to this video. Okay, this is a place for calm clarity, one step at a time. That is where real change starts. And I'm Deborah. I'm a retired nurse. And I share this with you because I spent decades caring for people who suffered unnecessarily. I just want you to feel better.